Okay?
Alrighty. Hello. What do we have here? Let's do it.
Peace. I'm Kendall McGuire, professional musician, and today I'll be speaking to you about how to create trippy music.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's a couple different ways to create trippy music. Now, we're sort of thinking back to the 60s and sort of the folk tunes and real soulful, beautiful music, all right? So let's say we're doing vocals. Let's just improv on whatever tunes come to mind. So, I would think more of a lighter,
That's kind of trippy.
borderline breathy vocals would be good. And just really chilled out, real mellowed out.
Best way to create
okay?
trippy
Real
music is
casual
to
with it.
take
And
trippy
just
drugs.
having fun, all right? So if you're playing chords,
Essentially,
bum, bum,
it's called
bum,
mushrooms
bum,
or
bum,
LSD,
bum, bum,
and then the trippiness will come naturally.
You know, you kind of just improv on your vocals and have fun with it. You might want to throw in something with a little bit of a Middle Eastern or maybe even an Indian slant to it. You know,
What?
it's kind of just real
That's not
breathy.
trippy.
That's the trippy style. Now let's talk instruments, okay? I've given you a little bit of advice on making trippy vocals.
That's only
Let's get into
trippy
the
if you're David Lee
instruments,
Roth.
all right? A few different trippy techniques for your violin or viola or other instrument that you can incorporate would be to do a trill.
Oh. Snake Charmer.
Whenever you're using the trills, it kind of adds a neat, really sort of variety. Maybe it's you're visualizing a bird flying in the air or something weird, okay? We can also
Okay.
use slides.
Drugs are bad,
These
okay.
folk slides will aid in making it really trippy. Enjoy making trippy music.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm Kendall McGuire. Peace.
That was slightly cringy. Alright. If you want to make trippy music, listen to Live Dead 1970. Whoa! Fast tempo. All right, this is insanity. I like the synth work. This is like some sort of outtake from the movie Tron. Oh, the robots are angry. Angry robot music. Look out. Oh, a little bit of a halftime groove. Space Invaders. Alright. Parents, do not let your robots do drugs. Alright, this music's good for something. What? I don't know. Probably driving. Maybe driving at night. Hard to separate the video from the music, though. I can't close my eyes. It's too psychedelic. Can't take my eyes off of it. How do you create this kind of music? That's my question. I mean, is this all sequenced or is there actually live playing going on here? Some crazy sounds going on there. Like distorted synthesizer. Whoa, Skrillex. Jesus. That was nuts. I mean, to me that wasn't so much trippy as more like EDM kind of techno.
There's not an EDM techno trip thing going on? I don't know much about
I guess there is. I don't know. I mean, when I think of trippy, I'm thinking about,
Hey, man.
The Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix.
Raga Rock.
Trippy's like Ravi Shankar, bro. This is not trippy.
Well, maybe it's trippy for a generation that is not ours.
Kids have lost sight of the trip, bro. Acid techno. How do those two words even go together?
Apparently they do. When we're speaking of Squarepusher, who was the artist that put together that song you just listened to.
Squarepusher.
Thomas Russell Jenkinson,
Yes.
known professionally as Squarepusher.
English electronic musician. Electronic musician. What is that exactly? Electronic musical instruments. All right, fair enough. Record producer, bassist, multi-instrumentalist, and DJ. All right, so there is live instrumental playing. Digital signal processing. Otherwise known as DSP.
Oh, okay.
Dark psychedelia.
I mean, it seems like this gentleman, oh, okay. He cites Jocko as an influence, which is always good.
Well, that's pretty cool. I could hear the, perhaps the influence in the bass in that recording. Very fast, sort of 16th note, Jocko-esque stuff going on there.
And also he cites Herbie Hancock as an influence.
The
And
Death
Frank
Wish
Zappa.
soundtrack.
What?
He cites the Death Wish Death Wish soundtrack by Herbie Hancock. Now, Death Wish soundtrack is happening.
Okay.
It's got Mike Clark's on drums on that one. That's one of the hippest soundtracks there is, actually.
Well, there you go. So he's got some hip influences here.
Yes, very interesting. Maybe he should team up with Stuart Zender.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They could do a bass duo.
Let me see what when this song was from. 2020, I guess. Wow, that's from his 15th album.
Very prolific. Tom Jenkinson.
He is a hardworking young man.
There he is. I'd like to hear some of his jazz fusion.
Would you? Okay, perhaps then
Yeah.
we can have that arranged.
I want the jazz fusion with real drums and bass.
I mean, we don't know that he uses real drums and bass on the jazz fusion, do we?
Well, it would seem like he should.
I guess we'll find out together. So, what did you think of the young lady at the top? Was she accurate?
No.
Okay. If Ehal came up to you and said, Dave, will you explain trippy music to us? Not in, don't take forever, but just...
I don't think you can explain trippy music.
Oh, really?
And you certainly can't intellectualize it. It's just something that is.
Oh.
I mean, you either do it or you don't. You can't pre-plan that stuff. If you try and explain it or have a plan for it, then it's not going to be trippy. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not something you should intellectualize or even plan ahead.
Yeah, but
it needs to be spontaneous and come from somewhere other than from yourself. The best example of trippy music is from a Grateful Dead concert when they would go into the space section. That's fully improvised and just coming from somewhere other than themselves. It's not pre-planned. There's no set thing. Jerry Garcia pretty much kind of is the ultimate peak of that. But it's all subjective. But I just know the origins of it.
Okay.
And that's the real trippy shit.
And you're interested in this gentleman's jazz fusion?
Yes. And I like this. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It's just, I wouldn't describe it as trippy.
All right. Well, I wanted to let you know that someone bought you some coffees to have you listen to these 2 videos in a row.
That's totally bizarre. That's cool. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yep.
I hope I did it justice. Yeah. Essentially, this music was blinding me with science.
Oh, okay.
Science!
The robots were angry.
Very angry. Not pleased.
Well, okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was enjoyable. Take it, Ish.